If you thought the cross between the Marans and the Leghorn, whose videos I've linked in the description below, was the peak of what a backyard flock could achieve, get ready to move up to the big leagues. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on a combination I've spent years refining. It's what I consider the holy grail for any breeder seeking genuine self-sufficiency, the cross between a Rhode Island Red rooster and an Australorp hen. Stick around until the very end. We aren't just talking about pretty birds today. We're talking about biological engineering in your own backyard. We're producing offspring that shatter expectations in the nesting box, while remaining the kind of dedicated mothers that modern industrial birds have completely forgotten how to be. This is, without a doubt, the single most powerful genetic combination I've ever tested on my farm. Today you're going to understand exactly why these two heritage giants are the perfect parents for your next elite project. Let's begin. To truly appreciate the magnitude of this hybrid, we first have to dive deep into the history and the anatomy of the mother of this project, the Australorp. This breed isn't just a black chicken, she is the masterpiece of extreme genetic refinement that took place in Australia during the early 20th century. Taking the original black Orpington lines from England, Australian breeders weren't looking for a fluffy showbird, they were looking for a high-performance athlete that could maintain egg production in the blistering heat without missing a beat. The Australorp still holds world records for egg laying, reaching figures that challenge even the most advanced modern commercial lines, which is precisely why she is our undisputed choice for the maternal side of this cross. By using the Australorp as the hen, we are hardwiring a genetic predisposition for consistency and a calm, docile temperament into our progeny. When you look at her, notice the depth of her body and the width of her back. These aren't just aesthetic traits, they signal a spacious abdominal cavity designed to support a reproductive system that never quits. Her eyes, as black as midnight, and her slate-colored legs are indicators of deep melanin pigmentation that will play a fascinating role in the final look of our hybrid. The Australorp brings the peace, the resilience, and above all, the sheer numerical foundation of eggs that every breeder wants to see in their basket every single morning. On the other side of the fence, we have the masculine pillar of this union, the Rhode Island Red Rooster. This breed is a cornerstone of American poultry history, hailing from the town of Little Compton, Rhode Island. The Rhode Island Red is the ultimate symbol of New England grit and robustness. Unlike the refined, compact frame of the Australorp, the Rhode Island Red is built with a heavy-duty skeletal structure, a broad chest, and powerful musculature. We have specifically chosen him as the sire for this cross for one non-negotiable technical reason: the dominance of his shell-color genetics and his physical vigor. The gene responsible for that rich mahogany red egg color in the Rhode Island Red is exceptionally potent, possessing a unique ability to tint the production of his female offspring in a way very few other breeds can match. But he brings more than just color to the table. The Rhode Island Red Rooster injects a protective temperament and an enviable climate hardiness into the hybrid. His deep mahogany plumage, which should be glossy and uniform in any high-quality breeder, reflects internal health and a superior feed conversion rate. By selecting a sire with a well-defined comb, bright orange-red eyes, and an imposing stance, we ensure his daughters inherit the biological armor needed to pump out high-quality eggs without physically breaking down under the strain. The real magic happens through a genetic phenomenon known as heterosis, or hybrid vigor. By uniting two such pure and distinct bloodlines, the Australian powerhouse and the American classic, we are creating a biological spark that amplifies the virtues of both parents while masking their weaknesses. In this initial stage of the process, it is vital to understand that we aren't just mixing two chickens. We are strategically using the Rhode Island Red Rooster to reinforce and supercharge the frame of the Australorp. While the mother provides the high-fidelity motor for egg production, the father provides the heavy-duty chassis to keep that motor running for years. This is why we insist on the male being the Rhode Island Red. His specific ability to transmit body mass and light red egg pigmentation is what separates this elite experiment from any common crossbreeding you might find elsewhere. We are building a bird that doesn't just lay more, she lays better, and she thrives longer in real-world farm conditions. It is important to emphasize that the selection of your breeding stock must be surgical. Not every black hen is a purebred Australorp, and not every red rooster carries the genetic load of a true production line Rhode Island Red. For the results we are promising to manifest, the mother must display that legendary docile character and that dark, soulful eye that confirms her heritage. Meanwhile, the father must exhibit a boundless, overflowing vitality. As you watch these two parents interact, you can already see the synergy. The hen's tranquility balances out the rooster's high energy. This balance translates directly into the behavior of your future pullets, creating birds that are easy to manage in the coop, don't panic at the slightest disturbance, and therefore don't experience the stress-related drops in production that plague flightier breeds. Docility is a profitability factor that many breeders overlook, but in this cross we have placed it at the very heart of our genetic strategy. Teasing just a bit of what happens when these two titans unite. The result is a bird that will honestly leave you speechless. Imagine a hen that inherits the deep black base of her mother, but with a beetle green sheen so intense it looks like a living oil painting, accented by mahogany hackle feathers on her neck inherited from her father. But the real surprise isn't just skin deep, it's the way these birds shatter the traditional timelines for sexual maturity. We are talking about a hybrid that begins showing signs of readiness for the nest much earlier than either of its purebred parents, thanks to that explosion of energy that hybrid vigor pumps into their hormonal development. It is a bird that combines the elegance of the Australorp with the raw power of the Rhode Island Red, creating a unique visual identity that sets her worlds apart from commercial hybrids like the Black Star. In our birds, the leg color remains dark, a signature from the mother, but the strength of her stride and the breadth of her breast speak directly to the influence of her American father. However, to reach that ultimate goal of 280 large red eggs, it's not enough to just have the right parents. You have to understand how their genes interact during shell formation and within the health of the reproductive tract. The Rhode Island Red provides the blueprint for heavy-caliber eggs, while the Australorp provides the high-frequency ovulation rate. When they join forces, they create a synergy where the F1 hen doesn't just lay an egg almost every single day, but every one of those eggs is a high-quality product with a resilient shell and a color that stops people in their tracks. Furthermore, the fact that they retain a moderate brooding instinct, a heritage trait from both parents that hasn't been bred out by industrial labs, gives you the massive advantage of having birds that actually understand the cycle of life. They are capable of tending their nests and, if you allow it, becoming fierce, protective mothers that raise their own chicks with an efficiency that is truly a sight to behold. This is only the beginning of the road. We have laid the groundwork, we have selected the finest representatives from 2 different continents, and we have mastered the genetic theory that backs this exceptional cross. But what really matters is what happens when those chicks break through the shell and start showing those unique traits, from the color of their eyes to the speed at which they hit their ideal weight. The promise of a basket overflowing with large 2.3-ounce red eggs isn't a pipe dream. It is a technical reality that we are about to break down in full. In the next stage of this reveal, we are going to dive headfirst into the development of the hybrid itself, analyzing point by point how these genes manifest and why this Austra Red is the secret your farm has been waiting for to achieve true productivity and profit. Get ready to discover how the green shimmer of their feathers and the dark gaze of their eyes are just the prelude to a production capacity that will change the way you look at poultry forever. Now that we've established the genetic foundation with the strength of the Rhode Island Red and the unwavering consistency of the Australorp, it's time to step into the full revelation of this exceptional hybrid, the Austra Red. What happens when these elite genes finally express themselves in a single bird is nothing short of poultry perfection. Imagine walking into your coop and being greeted by a hen with an imposing, powerful stance, a direct inheritance from her father's robust frame, but wrapped in a plumage that looks like it was dipped in midnight ink and polished to a mirror finish. This is the legendary beetle green sheen, a trait we have carefully preserved from the maternal line. Under the direct glare of the sun, this plumage reveals a shimmering emerald intensity that signals the true internal health and genetic quality of your flock. Unlike the common industrial Black Star N, which often presents a dull, matte black finish, our hybrid radiates a visual depth that is truly captivating. Furthermore, she retains those striking mahogany or deep red hackle feathers around her neck, a vibrant fire collar inherited from her Rhode Island Red father, giving her an appearance strikingly similar to the prestigious Marans, but with one massive technical advantage. Her legs are completely clean, solid black, and featherless. This lack of leg feathering isn't just for show. It is a critical hygiene and health factor, preventing the accumulation of mud, moisture, and parasites that often plague feather-legged breeds in damp conditions. One of the most fascinating mysteries you will uncover while raising these birds is the genetics of their gaze. In a single clutch of offspring, you will find a visual surprise. Some individuals will be born with deep, ink-black eyes, identical to a purebred Australorp, while others will display a bright orange or fiery red eye, a direct signature of the Rhode Island Red. This occurs because we are witnessing a complex interaction of pigmentary genes where the deep black eye often acts with a marked dominance in the first generation, yet the father's American strength always finds a way to manifest. Discussing these eye genetics isn't just for the sake of curiosity. It's about understanding how these 2 heritage breeds dance together to give us a unique visual identity. Seeing a dark-plumaged bird with those soulful jet-black eyes gives her an air of elegance and mystery that no industrial bird possesses. This variability is far from a defect. It is the living proof that you are working with an authentic cross where hybrid vigor is firing at maximum capacity in every organ and system of the bird. Let's move on to the real reason this cross is a winning investment for your farm. It's elite productivity. We are looking at birds capable of reaching a staggering 280 eggs per year. While this number is slightly lower than what a purebred Australorp might achieve under laboratory conditions, the competitive advantage here lies in the quality and caliber of the egg. Thanks to the genetic dominance of the Rhode Island Red Rooster, the shell color is a consistent light red, avoiding the confusion of the near-black eggs of the Marans, but maintaining a commercial appeal far superior to the pale, off-white eggs of common backyard hens. Perhaps most impressive is that these hens are remarkably precocious. They reach sexual maturity at approximately 6 months of age, and unlike other heavy breeds that start with tiny peewee eggs, our Austra-Reds hit the ground running with large eggs that easily tip the scales at over 2.3 ounces. This ability to produce XL eggs from the very beginning of their cycle ensures an immediate return on investment for the breeder looking for tangible results in their collection basket every single morning. However, sheer productivity means nothing if the bird lacks the constitution to sustain it. That is why this hybrid stands out as a robust and powerful creature, reaching a body mass and weight superior to the purebred Australorp mother. This reinforced skeletal structure and muscle mass grant her an enviable climate hardiness, allowing her to keep producing even when temperatures fluctuate wildly. Something lighter, more fragile birds simply cannot tolerate. To ensure these birds reach their full potential, the management starts at day 1 in the brooder. Drawing from my background in monitoring environmental conditions, I can tell you that climate control is non-negotiable. The first step is ensuring the brooding area is preheated to about 90 degrees Fahrenheit before moving the newborns. This temperature is critical. It mimics the warmth of a mother hen and prevents the chilling that can stunt a chick's growth or weaken its immune system. During these first few weeks, I also rely heavily on natural remedies to support their development. A bit of crushed garlic or finely chopped oregano in their feed or water acts as a natural antibiotic and immune booster, protecting the offspring from common ailments without the need for harsh chemicals. This holistic approach, combined with a high-protein starter feed, 20 to 22%, builds the strong foundation these birds need to later produce those massive 2.3-ounce eggs. As they grow, we must successfully maintain their extremely docile and calm temperament, a trait inherited from both parent lines that makes them the perfect choice for the beginner breeder or those who simply enjoy a stress-free environment in the coop. A docile hen is a profitable hen. She doesn't waste energy on flightiness or anxiety, channeling every single calorie from her feed directly into the formation of those large red eggs we value so much. Another discovery that adds immense educational and practical value to this cross is its moderate brooding instinct. In a world where industrial birds have been genetically programmed to forget how to be mothers, our F1 hybrid retains the ancient wisdom of the species. It is very likely that some of your best hens will decide to go broody. And when they do, you will find that they are excellent mothers, protective and dedicated to their young. This grants you a level of self-sufficiency that few modern hybrids can offer, allowing the hen to hatch and raise her own chicks, which in turn reduces your reliance on artificial incubation and adds a beautiful rustic element to your farm. Still, as responsible breeders, we must be the guardians of this genetics and understand that the magic we have described today has a very clear biological limit: the dictatorship of the first generation, or F1. Everything we have discussed, the 280 eggs, the beetle green sheen, the black eyes, and the 2.3-ounce egg size, is guaranteed only in this first direct cross between the Rhode Island Red Rooster and the Australorp hen. If you choose to breed these offspring to one another, you will enter what we call the F2 genetic lottery. In that second generation, traits will begin to segregate chaotically. You will see birds with significantly lower production, patchy plumage, loss of body weight, and eggs of erratic sizes. Hybrid vigor is like a bolt of lightning. It is powerful and transformative, but it does not pass down in the same way to subsequent generations. To maintain the success of your farm and the quality of your flock, your golden rule must always be to return to the original parents. Do not try to reinvent the wheel with the F2 if you are looking for professional, predictable results. At the end of the day, what we have achieved with this experiment is proof that high-quality poultry breeding is within reach of anyone who dares to understand genetics. We have a bird with solid black legs, early maturity, and ironclad health that represents the best of two continents. She is a bird that honors the breeder's hard work with every 2.3-ounce egg and every display of her emerald plumage in the sun. This is the path toward a self-sufficient, profitable, and visually stunning farm. We have revealed, point by point, why the cross between the Rhode Island Red and the Australorp is arguably the best combination for the modern breeder. From the dominance of the red color in the egg to the mystery of eye pigmentation, every detail counts in building a success story that is reflected in your daily egg count and the vitality of your coop. Now that you know these secrets, I would love to hear your thoughts. What other genetic crosses spark your curiosity? Or what experiments would you like to see us perform together to discover the next great combination on our channel? Your participation is what drives us to continue decoding the laws of nature. To your success, fellow breeder. See you next time.